So as always, I start with my little candle that just helps me bring my focus to this ritual, which is my sacred practice, my sacred creativity practice. Okay, so I have been pondering. I made a decision last week, and that is, here is my to-do list. This is what my to-do list looks like. To do. Here's my to-do. And number one on my to-do list is look after me. And, you know, there's something quite powerful. Although I'd set my intention that, you know, so for me, self-care is a priority. This month, September, my self-care is my priority. Self-care for mind, body, spirit, you know, or emotions, because I know what happens if I don't do that. But even just writing the to-do and looking after me at the top, that feels really very empowering. I've not actually written, you know, physically on a piece of paper, you know, I'm top of my list. I've said I'm top of my list, but now here I am, top of my list. This is what I get to do this month and set that habit of looking after me. Now, one of the first things that came to me was, okay, so I'm going to set my boundaries. And there's an immediate sort of, the temptation, what have we been taught to do would be, and I'm not going to do this in pen, I'm just going to show you, would be to, right, okay, I'm going to outline my boundaries. Here's my boundaries. And there's a harshness to that. And so my invitation today is to do things a little bit differently, because that's what we do in Create and Listen. And this, I have no idea how this is going to work, but this is what came to me in my morning meditation of what does it look like? What does it look like to set boundaries? What does it look like to set boundaries, around, to protect your own, maybe it's your own daily practice. Maybe it's, that life feels like it's crushing you and squeezing you. So here's my invitation, that rather than going, I'm going to create my space and this is what my boundary is going to look like. Here's my invitation. Come to the center. Pick a color. And I'm looking at my box here. What color? Come in with green, because that's the color that wants to come through as I'm thinking about my boundaries. And I'm going to draw a little circle. And it's really interesting because it's quite tricky. So I'm just going to come to this side. It wants to go onto both. Here I am. Actually, that's really interesting, because this feels almost like a sort of, left brain, right brain type thing. So here am I at the center, because sometimes the weight of the world feels like it's, squished you into a little tiny blob. But here I am I am right in the center of my being, whatever color that looks like for you. And the message I had this morning, and I really do just want that to be a circle. And so I'm going to need to use a little bit of water. So are you ready? I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready. And so the invitation is to pause. The invitation is to pause, because I want to connect this left and right side. So here I am, and you go, oh, that feels better. That feels better. So here I am at the center, and there's that lovely green, which reminds me that I am doing this practice of putting myself first from a place of love. This is what self-care means, that I love myself enough to do this. And then the message I had was to set your boundaries, to create your boundaries. It's as easy as breathing. Just breathe out and feel the expansion. And I'm using a colour which for me represents that air element, that we expand. So I'm breathing out, and my boundaries now, you know, I'm expanding into that I am still in this little bubble. I'm surrounded by air. And then I move, as I do in my morning. I just wanted to join those up. There was a little bit of a gap there. So I'm joining that up. And I realise that I'm going to need to do this as I go. That, you know, it feels a little bit, awkward to start with, putting yourself first. And you go, oh, am I allowed to do that? Am I allowed to look after my own well-being, my physical, my mental, my emotional, my spiritual? So just, you know, whatever it takes, just ease into it. And now my little bubble is a bit bigger. I'm moving out. I'm expanding. And then we expand into the fire element. We move from air in the east to fire in the south. It's a beautiful morning this morning. I'm just going to expand that as that ripples out, because as I feel into this center space and then I'm breathing, now I can feel, oh, I've got that energy, I've got that passion for life, which comes from connecting with the element of fire. I love the red thread connection. You know, I can feel others around me, but I'm still protected. I still have this, now I'm expanding, but my heart center, my little safe place in the center there is still there. And there's a sense as we do this that we push out and we create that space. We clear anything that doesn't belong to us. And we just very, very gently move it out and away, rather than, you know, let's create a boundary and then I've got everybody else's rubbish in my little bubble. But when we do it like this, we are then moving out, creating more capacity. I can feel the strength and the resilience that comes from a strong core, because that's where the, if we want strong boundaries, it comes from a strong core. I can feel that resilience building. I can feel the energy building on this page as we move out. I then move to the element of water in the West, wisdom of the ancestors. And I'm going to expand. And we, sometimes that expansion is a bit tentative to start with. The water element, which is our intuition, our connection with our inner wisdom. So there is my blue representing of the elements as we expand outwards. My core is still strong. I have that resilience. Now I'm beginning to stretch out onto the page. And it's interesting, if you join me with this process and just sort of lean in, listen in, where are you feeling this in your body? What's rising for you? And for me, I feel almost slightly giggly. This is bringing me joy. This is what happens when we do this. I feel laughter bubbling up. Notice the coughing. So I'm not going to disguise the coughing, okay? Because when we cough, when we yawn, we are clearing away, clearing out any energy that doesn't belong. And that's what's happening for me. I'm feeling that clearing. I'm feeling this joy and this sort of slightly giggly feeling rising up. And in that, it's actually causing me to cough, to clear out the energy. I love this process. I love it. Okay. And so you go, there's a want to get on with it. But I'm also feeling, don't rush. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy. There's no rush. Pause in each of these circles as you feel this expansion. Let's come to the north. Internal image of self. The green earth energy. I feel a very strong connection with earth and with north. And so, I'm going, oh yeah, let's move that energy. It's with the power of the earth. This is our earth connection. Connecting with Mother Earth, with Gaia. There's a sort of, feel like I'm almost looking at a cross section now of this is me, this is my body. Here I am at the core, and I'm expanding out. I'm just feeling called to add in a different green as well. That these are all shades of green. Let's bring a lime green in here as well. Okay, so there is my green. And now look where my boundary is. Now look where my boundary is. I've moved out. I now can hold a much bigger space. I can hold more energy because I have started at the center. I've connected with the elements. I've connected with the 4 directions so far of east, south, west, north, bringing that energy onto my page. And now look at my boundaries. Now I can hold more. I have more capacity. You know, capacity is the word that is coming. Capacity, resilience. This is what it looks like to expand from the inside out. This is what it looks like to set your boundaries from the inside, moving out so that there is nothing within your bubble that doesn't belong, that isn't part of you. I'm moving then to an orange, which is representing the spirit below. And that real, I want to just take that in both directions. I want to take it in that direction. I want to come in that direction. It's really interesting. My candle has just gone out. So at what point, you know, when you are doing this process, notice what is going on around you. So let's refresh, let's replenish. You know, if this candle has gone out, okay, let's get a new candle. Let's, you know, where do you need to be filled up? Where do you need to be refreshed? And that really is what this episode, what this time of Create and Listen is all about, is what do you need? What do you need? I love that it is as I connect with, you know, I go within and I connect with spirit, that actually I'm reminded, you know, light, shine your light, shine your light. That is, you know, don't rush, slow down. If I move that candle too quickly, the flame will go out. So there is an energy there of perfect timing. Perfect timing. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. You know, and what am I doing? I'm drawing circles. But this is how spirit and your intuition talk to you. Here is spirit below, connecting, reminding me. You know, that's the message from as I connect with spirit below. Slow down, light your fire, light up, you know, shine your light. That's for everybody. If you are watching this, if you are listening to this message, it's for you. Trust that, you know, it's time to light your candle. And we do that with love and compassion and gentleness. I need a bigger brush. You know, now I've got to this size circle. Okay, let's actually sweep that colour around, that beautiful bright orange light coming in to our energy system. and I know what's coming next, and there's a sense of excitement and I want to get on with it, but also that message of be in the moment, be present. That was very much the message I had over the weekend. You know, be present in everything that you're doing. Find the joy. Find the joy, be present. Don't want, you know, there's that desire to rush ahead and go, no, just be, receive whichever of these colours wants to come to you. Spend time with that colour. And now I have my purple of Spirit Above. And the purple I've picked out is quite, I know, is a dull purple. Can't quite see what's it called. It's called aubergine. Oh, that's funny because I've just bought some new wool and it's this colour. So there's the aubergine. But what I'm feeling is I want it to be brighter. I want this to be brighter, but I'm going with it. I'm going with it. Okay, because there is something about aubergine that wants to come in. Maybe I look up what aubergine means. But we start with that purple light, crown chakra energy. You'll notice that I am not using the, I'm not working through the chakras here. I am expanding outwards. And I want a nice bright purple to finish that layer off. Now look at your boundary. Now look at the space you've created for yourself. And that feels amazing. It feels fun. It feels, oh, if I've got this much space, now that's my boundary. But everything within this, that's probably about the size of the circle that I would have drawn if I'd have gone, oh, I'm going to create my boundary. But now I've created my boundary from the inside out. And everything that is within this circle, actually it feels like a sphere. But everything within this, because, we create in 2 dimensions, but we're actually creating in 3. So everything within this beautiful sphere is now me. Is now me. I am empowered. Now lean into what are the words that are rising, because we create with colour and symbol, and it's when we do that, then we can often access the words that want to come. So how are you feeling now? How are you feeling now? You've created your boundaries. You've claimed sovereignty. That's magical key 14, sovereignty over my life. I am ruler of my life. I have created this resilience, this beautiful bubble, as I have expanded that energy outwards. And what's really funny is the angle that I am looking at this now. This little green blob actually has a sort of heart-shaped feel to it from the angle that I'm looking at it from the side. Beautiful. Beautiful. A hashtag, you can't make this up. So the invitation would be, how am I feeling now? I've cleared away. I've cleared out. And now I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling a lot more grounded. I'm feeling a little bit, oh, this is really exciting. I feel empowered. I feel grounded. I feel centered. I feel centered. What does it look like to set boundaries? Here I am writing over here. I'm centered. I'm grounded. you know, this is what it looks like for me to set my boundaries from the inside out. So I will be adding some words around here of, you know, what does it look like to set boundaries? Well, it looks like this. And joy is the word that is coming up there for me. You know, I get to be present.